Ơi cô em lái đò sao em nỡ làm ngơ. Anh mang theo tiếng đàn cò vẫn suốt khổ thân thơi.
Nắng xinh qua màn mưa thanh âm của anh thì không phải bàn. Gió đung đưa ngoài những câu từ miền Tây em nghe say. Cánh cò bay đằng xa mang bao lời ca này anh gửi nàng. Nhớ câu ca hồi mong cho đời ta luôn được bình yên. Về miền Tây tay treo tay trống xem luôn ở ruộng hôm nay chỗ bông. Người miền Tây thật thà đã chắc phép và tâm hướng thiệt là nhà phải thờ tổ tông. Thứ mà tao đang mang tới là thanh năm vàng và là con của người đất Vĩnh Long. Thanh năm này mà nó là hàng chính thống bản sắc của Việt Nam, của đất của Long để chính rồng.
Căn nhà tranh mai lá làm sao có giá được trăm cây vàng nè. Có bay lơi bay lá có mang thiếp về ngay cho chàng nè. Vậy thưa má mà vui quá xa nếu anh cưới nàng nè. Có bay lơi bay lá ơi cô em lái đò sao em nỡ làm ngơ. Anh mang theo tiếng đàn cò vẫn suốt khổ thân thơ. Ơi cô em lái đò sao em nỡ làm ngơ. Anh mang theo tiếng đàn cò vẫn suốt khổ thân thơ.
I like the fire cause the body just dropped. I like Miami in the club with little mammy. She dancing and sweating cause the money just dropped. It's the season. Can you pass the keys? I'm on my way cause ain't no reason. You don't wanna fuck with me when I'm hitting you ain't. Never change for the money while chasing the money. Little mind still working on stage for the money. I caught me a roadie like sex in a moment. Tell the rest of the world let them know that I'm coming. And I'll be there. Party in the city, in the club, in the slip. But she just really want me there. Don't try cause women where I'm from it gets sticky like weed, yeah.
Căn nhà tranh mai lá làm sao có giá được trăm cây vàng nè. Có bay lơi bay lá có mang thiếp về ngay cho chàng nè. Vậy thưa má mà vui quá xa nếu anh cưới nàng nè. Có bay lơi bay lá
The work ain't scaling up, get your measure straight. Once your foot on the gas, you cannot hesitate. I know you can't tell the prime that I'm in. All by grind, design and timing. If the work ain't scaling up, get your measure straight. Once your foot on the gas, you cannot hesitate. I know you can't tell the prime that I'm in. All by grind, design and timing.
Smack rappers like that URL clips. While you sitting at home watching URL clips, I'ma double back and hop it like that URL clip. Bet these rappers get ruffled every second I smell chips. Get green like a Celtic. Volcanic how I hit the roof and I melt shit. Stunting no evil Knievel. Blood of a king. So every bar spiritually regal. Take y'all to church, no cathedral. Pen poison tip like a needle. Paint you a pic with no easel. Rap is quick to mislead you. On game try to G you. Not for the weak or the feeble. Stomping is concrete. So easy to get my seeds through. Cause say I'm a lyrical contortionist. Killing these kids, here's the abortions list. With this mic in my hand, it's like I got a poker. Smile on my face, something like the Joker. Smack your chick in the face, she love it while I stroke her. And shit get cold like we in Nova Scotia. Certified, registered, yeah, my crew legit. Known for spitting fecal matter, every bar's the shit.
If the work ain't scaling up, get your measure straight. Once your foot on the gas, you cannot hesitate. I know you can't tell the prime that I'm in. All by grind, design and timing. If the work ain't scaling up, get your message straight. Once your foot on the gas, you cannot hesitate. I know you can't tell the prime that I'm in. All by grind, design and timing.
I'm just trying to do my own thing. My phone rang, they told me my homie got hit in close range. It won't change. Plug with them people that flip cocaine and gold chains. Turn me to a king like the Gold James. Gas price high, self-esteem low. Past to getting high, keep it on the low. You got a bunch of friends, y'all chillin', y'all smoke. Won't share none of your songs, but'll share that new code. Shout the code. Yeah, I know the world's cold, so cold. Yeah, we sticking to the code. To the code. Spent some digits on my clothes. Every other video I'm sipping on the rose. Foot up on the gas, always on the go. Made $1 million off a MacBook Pro. You could pick your poison, Trump or Joe. They devilish though. Either way, we got it for the low. For the low.
If the work ain't scaling up, get your measure straight. Once your foot on the gas, you tell the prime that I'm in. All by grind, design, and timing.
One more try and I'm done trying. One more lie and I'm done talking. One more time and I'm fine walking. I've been popping and been awful. These not a store brand waffle. I ain't sweating, yeah, I'm flexing on you. Check the revenue, we next on them. Who the fuck you think the best on us? Yeah, we bless noggins. Like hoes watching and they wishy-washy. I won't stop it, I won't drop it. This is sevens dropping, I drop it, yeah, like panties dropping. We take them shopping, I'm not stopping, I'm just getting started. Yeah. One more try and I'm done trying. Yeah. One more line, I'm done talking. One more time and I'm fine walking. I've been popping, they been awful. These not a store brand waffles. I ain't sweating you, I'ma flex on you. Check the revenue, we next on them. Who the fuck you think the best on us? We blessed noggins, these hoes watching. They wishy-washy, I won't stop it. I won't drop it unless it's albums dropping. Then I'm dropping, like pennies dropping. Cause I take them shopping, I'm not stopping. I'm just getting started, yeah.
I don't wanna waste no time. Wanna know if you be mine. Girl, you know you look so fine. I wanna know if you can come slide through. I don't wanna waste no time. Wanna know if you be mine. Girl, you know you look so fine. I wanna know if you can come slide through. Girl, you're so fine, it's a crime. Looking like you're in the prime. Surely top 10, you're a dime. I might put my heart on the line. Come close, we can slow wine. Body on me till we grind. Sensual as we climb. Just lay back while I dine. Never hold back, let yourself be free. Love how the sweat's dropping down on me. We can make waves like we down in the sea. Make you let go like a tsunami. I don't wanna waste no time. Wanna know if you be mine. Girl, you know you look so fine. I wanna know if you can come slide through. I don't wanna waste no time. Wanna know if you be mine. Girl, you know you look so fine. I wanna know if you can come slide through.
Time is of the essence. Let your guard down and block your blessings. Baby, just focus on the present while I teach you these love lessons. If you want me, better show it. Dealing with a sign, boy, you know it. If you can match my energy and be devoted, I'll be any and everything that you ever wanted. You can win my heart, but somehow you sold it. Baddest in the room, but more than a trophy. Hold my hand while we grind slowly. Going round for rounds to the early morning.
I don't wanna waste no time. Wanna know if you be mine. Girl, you know you look so fine. I wanna know if you can come slide through. I don't wanna waste no time. Wanna know if you be mine. Girl, you know you look so fine. I wanna know if you can come slide through. Never wanna let you go. Stay with me, don't say no. Staring at your skin while it flows. As I rub your body real slow. Never let the river get low. Let me come and roll on the boat. Make your body hydro. I can make the love overflow. All I wanna know if you stay here with me. If you got the lock and I got the key. Want to be a fan of you only. And never ever ever will I leave waste no time. Wanna know if you be mine. Girl, you know you look so fine. I wanna know if you can come straight through. I don't wanna waste no time. Wanna know if you be mine. Girl, you know you look so fine. I wanna know if you can come straight through.
Chan bada bada, chan bada, chan bada bada, chan bada, chan bada bada. That's the sound of clashing katanas. All start from katana, iron's hand harvested from the riverbed, melted in the carbon infused tomahawk net, burning in the furnace for 3 days straight. Then folded and hammered, repeated. Leave no impurity, sharpen with impunity. Cause if it ever touches your flesh, it peels on both sides of the edge. So clean it might heal if put back together right away. Unless you wanna bleed to the angle right ahead. Your wife and kid will wake up to a wrong type of morning. This sword is known to make orphans. No rope, just cub left in the wilderness. It's awful, but I wait for his bitterness to come and avenge for his father's death. Keep an eye on my father's threat. Chambada, chan bada bada, chambada, chan bada bada, chambada, chan bada bada. That's the sound of clashing katanas. Chambada, chan bada bada, chambada, chan bada bada, chambada, chan bada bada. That's the sound of clashing katanas. Yeah, the wave pattern along the blazes of clay, heated and cooled to a hard Martin dice. Say, in a battle, let the sword with a snap and twine. Bad news for your spine, that's why my builders far superior. The heart soft and flexible, but the skin tough and durable. The combination is a genius behind the fiercest forged weapon never known to man. Damn, but the one with the thumb on the handle must learn to stay calm and stand like a candle in a storm. Looming that's guaranteed to take many forms and attack from all angles. The shadow men coming at the woodwork, so adamant I don't get it like clockwork. There's no good or evil, only strong or feeble. If it both live, see you in the sequel. Chambada, chan bada bada, chambada, chan bada bada, chambada, chan bada bada. That's the sound of clashing katanas. Yeah, come get it if you wanna. Yo, boom, 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 yo, listen, like this. Look, mind your business if you seeing me out. I be asked out with the paths they was leading me down. I had hope for something better, kept on feeding me doubts, beating me down. My ex still dream of me now, that's how I pop up. Cute, but it's not us. I'd rather get it done and brag to people how I'm about to. I just left the north side, flying to the south of, just for self-care, a little massage and a scalp rub, and rose water so my skin tight. A better me is who you see me try and get like. My wrongdoings let me know what I had did right. Climb, reach big heights, my nails too long, I slapped in a fist fight. Give me the mic, I get the job done. I spend times preparing for when the time comes. On another mile run, it's talks about me and I still kept my mouth shut. If I ain't losing sleep, it ain't about much. With all this ice on my heart, when it's time, standing by the water when it's dark. I learned from my mistakes better than what I was taught. And if it robbed me of my joy, then it ain't really worth the cost. Word to mommy, voice voluptuous, know my body like a porta potty. Talking on this journey, thinking I ain't got a soul around me. I'm on point and I ain't skipping over no surroundings. Watch how they watch me. I lose them, I go to top speed. Now I don't do events unless I do them from the box seats. Send a budget and making sure that it's not cheap. Asking for this work ain't on the arm, it's not free. And my beauty is like a symphony. Yeah, since me, he ain't felt this kind of chemistry. I guess no matter where he go, he gon' remember me. It's something different, I can feel it in his energy. Thinking this was meant to be. Like me a writer, I'm a poet. Ain't rapping about my piece cause I never went and sold it. And I know when you got it, you ain't really gotta show it. If they swearing on my name, I swear to God that I ain't noticed.
This is everyday things, kale in my drink. Middle fingers high, don't give a damn what they think. Like the Kiki Usher vid, how I dance on the beat with my ear to the streets and my hands on a freak. Yeah, it's me.
Yeah, everybody wants my story, dog, and I'ma tell it. Single mother, dad in jail, know most of you felt it. Mama struggled raising me, but now she got her masters. My dad's there for my daughter, and that's all that matters. I can't blame him for all the times I was skipping classes. All them things that I would keep under the twin mattress. My little sister finna finish up law school. It's safe to say we all cool. It's safe to say we fall through. I swear, product of environment. Music glorifying it. It's one thing to sing the song, it's a whole nother surviving it. They study and admire it. Well, personal experience, I wouldn't go trying it. I wouldn't say the absolute worst happened to me, but enough to produce drama, having problems to sleep. You can feel it in your soul when I skate on the beat, cause I'm still balling on the court with them holes in my sleep. Jeez, I'm a father now, and that's what means the most to me. Singing songs for her to sleep and being everything she needs. A promise I will always keep, cause when I see that little girl, I wanna be a better me. I love to show I live my dreams, so one day she can do the same. A confidence in who became, so one day when she has her own, the lesson here will teach again. I stare at her with all amaze, the one person that made me change. I swear that one person that made me change.
You know that we coming higher, higher, higher. Speaking the truth from our soul, I bet they already know. Higher, higher, higher. The killers, we run with the killers. All bangers, no fillers. You know we the real higher, higher, higher. See the pain in our scars. The fame doesn't make you a star. Higher, yeah, higher, higher. My love for the grass should be studied. I always been on the go. Women come and they go. They high maintenance, but give it to me for the low. This ain't for show. On the raw stage, man, this here is me. And keeping the G is the key. I know a man that was dead the last time he put his ear to the streets. Got a lot of stake in my brain, but so much room to minimize the beef. They're trying to tell me my purpose, but I'm good on my own. No sauce needed when I speak. My space is a temporary. Move your shoes when you in my house. Before I'm in the bag with my insides out, I'ma walk around with joy from the inside out like whoop.
This the biggest of the biggest, big could get. Always knew I work it out, I had to make it stretch. Nigga feeling struggle, build muscle right before I flex. Back against the wall, better say it all with your chest. Do that shit to death, suicide how I went and left. I was right, even when I left, but I ain't lose a step, nor lose a breath. You ain't use your voice, that's how you lose your neck. Set your sights higher, trying to choose the best or choose your death.
The city we running, we keep this shit jumping, you know that we coming higher, higher, higher. Speaking the truth from our soul, I bet they already know. Higher, higher, higher. The killers, we run with the killers. All bangers, no fillers. You know we the real higher, higher, higher. See the pain in our scars. The fame doesn't make you a star. Higher, higher.
Teaching my daughter that we the realest. Know I'm seen like a villain. Story never made up. Hard to brush past what they conceal it. Have my name in the paper, affiliated with killers. Too much fitting about blow, let it end without a filter. Ay, y'all touching Fetty, still ain't high enough. Tried to look my way but couldn't see. Eye to eye with us, could get some years if it was film wasn't pro by the final cut. In a Cavalier throwing chalk before they lined us up.
I hit so many levels, my bezel look like the galaxy. Diamonds in my pendant, I'm living what niggas actually dream. Having motion, hocus pocus, I just happen to be on my way to make a play, but I'll be back in a blink. Cali bud, I went exotic, only papers, no leaf. Living legend, they gon' have to make a statue of me. Gettysburg and Germantown, I'm yelling that till I go. I'm so dating, my logo is a spoke, you feel me?
The city we running, we keep this shit jumping, you know that we coming higher, higher, higher. Speaking the truth from our soul, I bet they already know. Higher, higher, higher. The killers, we run with the killers. All bangers, no fillers, you know we the real higher, higher, higher. See the pain in our scars. The fame doesn't make you a star. Higher, higher.
chance to ever do it out the gym. No, they lied if they wrote a list without including him. I forgive them, I'm benevolent, it's hella evident, forever relevant. I'm in my element, not periodically, methodically. I peep game like a chess prodigy, not worried about no new names. Know why they don't bother me, cause who was best 10 years ago still mean my apologies. Excuse me as I move to the front again chronological.
Who higher than me, man? The answer is no. Handsome and dope, no longer walk, I actually float. You can't fly, your chances is low of passing me by. When you this high, we'll talk as a glow. My style is your hope, my logo a goat. Living legend in my spot, don't get out of place. You stuck on your block, I'm in the clouds, smoking out of space, running this marathon. This is not a race, played in those streets, worked those stages and did it all without a case MC.
The city we running, we keep the shit jumping, you know that we coming. Higher, higher. Speaking the truth from our soul, I bet they already know. Higher, higher, higher. The killers, we run with the killers, all bangers, no fillers, you know we the real. Higher, higher, higher. See the pain in our scars, the fame doesn't make you a star. Higher, higher, higher.
Actually enjoy treating your customers like a piece of shit, because that's how I felt when I went to the Alamo Draft House. Okay? You know what? I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to text in your little crappy ass theater. It was too fucking dark in that place for me to find my seat, alright? I was using my phone as a flashlight to get to my fucking seat. So excuse me for using my phone in USA, United States of America, where you are free to text in a theater. I was not aware that I couldn't text in your theater, all right? I've texted in all the other theaters in Austin, and no one ever gave a fuck about what I was doing with my fucking phone, all right? And it was on silent. It wasn't on loud. It wasn't bothering anybody. You guys obviously were being assholes to me. And I'm sure that's what you do, you know, to rip people off. You take my money, and then you throw me out. You know, I will never be coming back to your Alamo Draft House or whatever. I'd rather go to a regular theater where people are actually polite. And, you know, I'm going to tell everyone about how you are. And I'm pretty sure you guys are being on purpose. So thanks for making me feel like a customer. Thanks for taking my money.
It's chocolate. You should be very proud, Detective.
Shut up.
You've made a delicious life for yourself.
Said shut the fudge up!
Why? You don't come near here. You stay away from here.
Here he comes.
What?
Are you listening, David? I was saying how much I admire you and your ice cream. You have incredible taste in fine ice creams.
What the fudge did you just say?
6 delicious flavors. They're so lovely. And once they're gone, David, they're gone.
David, step away from the prisoner. Step away, David. Step away.
What's in the box?
I'm not gonna tell you until
What's in the box? What's in the box?
We each have our weaknesses. It appears that gluttony is my sin of choice. And you add the mystery. I couldn't resist.
What's in the malted fudging box?
It's empty, David. It's empty.
No! It was full. 6 delicious flavors. Only available this month.
I know. It was delivered to your home. It was delectable.
Do you think anybody's gonna get, like, offended by this?
Just tall white Karens.
Monotony. It comes in all shapes and sizes. Dull, tedious, just plain boring.
But what is this? A contender, perhaps? Something unboring by the looks of it. Jabs right at dull, an uppercut to tedium, something that keeps you on your toes, keeps your head on a swivel. A knockout punch to your old, boring workouts. Welcome to Fight Camp.
The Greening the Gateway Cities program provides trees that are planted by DCR foresters and crews hired from local communities. When you sign up as a potential tree recipient, a forester will visit your home or business to determine the best location and species of tree for maximum energy efficiency. Easy care instructions are provided and it's all free. Find out if you are in the zone and learn more at maurbancanopy.org.
If we're honest, who wants to roll less travel? It's harder to teach us. Who wants the difficult route?
If you support safety in our schools, you will support the National Guard to come in here and keep our students safe.
People say, these students have changed. These students are lazy.
Your children aren't learning disability, they lazy.
Get students engaged so they don't want to skip classes, they want to be in their classrooms.
There are teachers in this profession who should not be teachers. There are teachers in this profession who don't care about children.
These students don't want to learn. No, the adults have changed. See, the parents don't have the back of the teachers.
He ain't slow. He ain't got no learning problem. His parents didn't give him a foundation.
Young people as a nation, we sorely need the depth and breadth of your intelligence, character, and also your clarity.
Think about, in particular, the history of people that look like me who are getting cheated.
So if you're asking me right now as an educator, what's wrong with these kids? There's nothing wrong with them.
Teachers are the most important people in the world.
They're whimpering in fear, and we're sitting here scared of them.
Because if they get it right, they'll change the world because they're in charge of the most important resource, and that's our children.
Shaolin shadow boxing and the Wu-Tang sword style. If what you say is true, the Shaolin and the Wu-Tang could be dangerous. Do you think your Wu-Tang sword can defeat me?
On guard. I'll let you try my Wu-Tang style.
Same with you. Same with you.
Get you with a fine-tooth comb. I was soft inside. There was something going on.
Oscar Mike Radio is a proud podcast partner of Reach Across America Radio, heard every Thursday at 11 a.m. and Sunday at 8 a.m. Eastern. They're also big supporters of the nonprofit I Got Your Six, 2 Lives at Once. And with every wreath you sponsor through Oscar Mike Radio, $5 goes back to this great organization dedicated to making a difference in the lives of veterans, law enforcement, firefighters, and first responders battling PTSD. 2 Lives at Once pairs these brave men and women together with dogs rescued from kill shelters. In this way, 2 lives are saved at the same time by saving each other. Donate now. Go to reachacrossamerica.org/Oscar Mike Radio to help. That's reachacrossamerica.org/Oscar Mike Radio.
Master Yoda I am. And listen you must to hulazoom.com.
You are brought to New England to protect Drake May. What kind of tone are you going to set on this offensive line?
I'm gonna fight and die to protect them with everything I
got. We got this.
Y'all want to put the car back?
Well, this is none of your business, gentlemen. Shane's our business. We're the guard.
And we protect our quarterback. Oh, it's funny, man. Bozo, man. You got jokes?
What's up,
you got
bro?
jokes? That's your ride right there, ain't it? Yeah.
It's my windshield, you crazy mother.
Now put the car back.
You son of a bitch.
Son of a... Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, I'm a son of a bitch? Son of a bitch?
Hey, no, stop! All right, come on, goddammit, help me. Come on.
You're gonna pay for this. No, I'm not. And stop messing with my man. That includes his ride.
Come on,
matter of fact, wax that mother. Give it a tune-up, too. Ready to practice, Shane?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
How's that arm?
Good.
Yeah? What's that smell?
Wild yam. That's nice.
Shaolin shadow boxing and the Wu-Tang sword style. If what you say is true, the Shaolin and the Wu-Tang could be dangerous. Do you think your Wu-Tang sword can defeat me?
On
Remember, yeah.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Yeah.
Can you dig it?
Like some motherfucking action heroes in it. Yeah.
This is destiny. This is madness. This is
all here. Step into the twisted mind of my literature, designed to get into the depths of your mind, administer sickness around to mimic the likes of snuff cinema. What you must get into, you're nothing but pops. Remember you Homer and Happy Simpson, son. Nothing Ithaca. Dark is like the northern half of Korea's peninsula. ESP your island like the booth, something sinister. ESP your island like the booth, something sinister. ESP your island like the booth, something sinister.
Broadcasting live from the State Champions. You are watching The Booth. It is 7:01 p.m. for at everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Got my two guests already online. It is already at 8:05. Crazy stuff. I got two guests here. I got to get right into my Michael Douglas Barretto, MDB Electronics. If you got to get your controller fixed, if you're a gamer like me, send it out to him. You're back to gaming 28 hours. My Xbox right now, they just released games, Game Pass, 33 Expedition, sick, turn-based RPG, if you like Final Fantasy. And then they just re-released Oblivion, mastered, crazy game, and now it's remastered. Got to get back to gaming, get your control. Also, my artist, Viana Marie, karaoke, first Fridays, her album, available now, 494,000 streams. Project, out in August, Blacklist. Up. Tactical target systems, targets you at the range, getting ready for the apocalypse, robot apocalypse. Tactical target systems, I get those targets from. Also, I love Boston sports. My man Marlon Williams down there with a print shirt. Make sure to go out and support black-owned business. Here's my artist, Viana Marie, here, Kimberly Ann Empowerment Photography. Ladies, if you got the Kimberly at positivity feeling and be able to take special photography. And then black-owned business. Underwatch Protective Services, Darryl Smith, Mobile Patrol, Foot Patrol, Armed Guards, Unarmed Guards, Events, Private Security. Out this weekend for an event out of town. And call Larry, childhood friend, 7 type of handyman done around the house. Give Larry a call. We get into the thank my guest from last week, Maddie Cameron of MattieC. Talk about the Boston Marathon. Big announcement. Again, tonight on the show. Got my first two guests on the show. They've got this stuff coming up. My man Jed, I'm going to let you introduce yourself first.
Okay, my name's Jed. Hresko. I obviously live in Brockton. I founded a group called Brockton Bikes that I run with my girlfriend. It's centered around a monthly ride that it's a downtown ride. So the next one is this coming Friday. So it's the first Friday of the month. So this Friday at 6 p.m., we meet in front of Brockton Beer. We ride out from downtown around Brockton, usually about 7.5 to 10 miles. It's about the community. It's not about the athleticism, even though we like to work out. But what I'm saying by that is that we don't leave anybody behind. We welcome any kind of wheeled vehicles. People want to bring those little scooters. We have e-bikes. As long as it's a safe thing to ride with us, we're cool with it. And it's about making the streets safe for everybody. So getting people used to cyclists, getting our cyclists used to riding on the streets. And so that's coming this Friday. And then when we come back, we usually hang out at Brockton Beer, where our host happens to be running a karaoke night the first Friday night. So we maybe we'll participate. Maybe I'll take that plunge. And the other thing I'd like to plug is on Saturday, as part of Keep Brockton Beautiful Day, the DW Field Park Association is doing a cleanup. So you meet 9 a.m. down in the main parking lot, and we are supporting that as Brockton Bikes.
And
Thank
I
you.
just gotta let people know too, before I just let my second guest introduce. Those who don't know, DW Field Park, they've actually had this thing going since COVID. I signed up during COVID. They've got some monies coming in, so there's a lot of revitalization. There is a bathroom being built at the entranceway, a welcome center being. There's a lot of work that's going to. They actually took a lot of input, residents, and I think they're still taking some happen there. DW Field Park is one of the diamonds in the rough city of Brockton. It doesn't get enough recognition. Well, it did. One time DW did get a lot of in one of the best parks, and had some crime happen in there, and kind of put some things, bad things in people's heads. But it's a beautiful park. It's a great place. One side is for driving, one side is for walking and jogging and get healthy and ride your bike. Great park. I love the park. It's everybody should. There, got one of the biggest towers there that you can. But definitely, park is a great. Have you guys rode DW yet? The Brockton Bikes.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes we also do like a morning ride. We'll just like text each other, say, hey, you want to go out there early in the morning? Before they open the gates, it's a really awesome experience to be in the park where there's no cars.
Next guest down here, bottom left-hand corner. This man's about to take on this crazy-ass ride. He's trying to get into the Guinness World Book of Records, right?
Essentially, yeah. This is trying to set a world record as a whole. So whether it's in the Guinness books, it's really called like a FKT. So it's like fastest known time. So it's kind of like whether they accept it or not, it's going to be a record, and it's going to be accepted across the community of like cyclists as a whole. But yeah. So people know. My name's Sebastien StHubert. I work in marketing and kind of do a couple of things on a corporate level, but essentially I'm based in Brockton. I'm an endurance athlete. Like that's the bread and butter of where all my time's been focused on now. So that's the shortest introduction I can give of myself. And I'm sure we're going to get into more in depth of like everything going on and like kind of more of my background, but yeah.
No, we're actually going to get right. We're going to get right into it. How did you guys link up first and foremost? How'd you guys meet and how'd you get this connection going?
I'll let Jed answer that one because I feel like it was definitely an informal way of kind of like an introduction, but
I think it was at the BIC Brockton Interfaith Community Christmas party, and folks knew about Brockton Bikes, and I said, hey, you got to meet this guy, and the introduction was made.
Yeah, and I'll kind of say like why even that kind of, because that seems really random that it happened, but this whole thing was kind of random as a whole. So a little backstory about me. I've been working within marketing for the last couple of years in just the corporate world, working with many different organizations and companies, nonprofit and corporate. But as a whole, I've always been into athletics. I feel like every kid is kind of like into athletics and sports when they're kids. But for me, it was a little different. When I was a kid, a lot of my homies were playing, either basketball, football, and I played those normally too. But then, I don't know, once YouTube came out, I started looking at like the Red Bull athletes and the Monster athletes. And I started looking into like people like Jamie O'Brien. He was like surfing. People like Kelly Slater, surfer too. Even there was just a lot of people I was looking at. Really, surfing was the first big one. that I looked into. And that obviously led me into like skateboarding. So the first sport I was into was heavily like skateboarding, because that's like the easiest access. It was hard to convince my parents, like, hey, mom, I'm trying to go learn how to surf. 13. She's like, okay, first, you can barely swim, ain't no oceans around here, and you're Haitian, so you're gonna stay home. It was just like, ain't really much opportunity out there for me in those realms at all. But that kind of trickled everything into just like people just always call like extreme sports, or like, to lack of a better word, all my homies like, yo, bro, you love doing those white people sports. So it was just like I was always snowboarding, skateboarding, surfing, skiing. And as I got older, I realized it wasn't obviously that it was either a white sport or a black sport. It was more of just like, I always try to keep it real. And it was like the certain demographics that have access to certain sports more than others. So I understand why people called it certain things and why they didn't. But that just led me to doing things that were like not always the normal way of doing sports, or like the normal sports. So while kids were like, oh, I'm trying to play in the AAU teams, or like, I'm trying to do this, I was like, yo, I'm trying to like film a skateboard park video, or like, yo, I seen this crazy Red Bull snowboarding movie, and I'm like, I want to make like a city movie the same way that they did it. So I just always had, I'm not even going to say bigger visions, because it wasn't necessarily bigger than anybody else's vision. It was just different. Like, they didn't have access. They didn't really have the, I'm trying to look for a better word. They weren't shown it. They just never saw it before. So they didn't even know what it was. And I just happened to be in the right place, happened to have certain people around me that did show me those things. So to skip forward ahead, I was getting into cycling for one of my good homies, George, at this gym Lifetime I was going to in Westwood, and it was really dope. And he kind of introduced me to cycling. And then I was like, dang, I want to figure out a way so I can like legitimize myself. Because like I was like, right now, even if I'm like practicing cycling, kind of getting on the road, nobody really considers me a cyclist. Like, you know how it is. It's like if you play ball in the park, nobody's going to consider you necessarily a real baller unless you like on a team, or you doing something legitimate, or like, you're going to be known as like forever, like, oh yeah, he's that dude on the block that's really good at playing ball. And for cycling, I was like, I like the idea of, and even saying it now, it's like, I like the idea of being able to have my voice heard and tell a story. And I'm really aware that to tell a story, you need to have bigger connections. You need to have, sometimes it's a company, sometimes it's just a platform. It's better when you tell a story, when you have legitimacy under your belt. Like, you have some type of thing to say, okay, you can do this for real. I'll listen to you. And I was like, I want to be able to tell my story of how endurance helped me, how like running either marathons, half marathons, how all that stuff helped me. And I was like, I want to do something that's going to legitimize me in this endurance field before I start talking about, hey, this is how endurance helped my life. Because I didn't really do anything I considered in my book that was like endurance heavy. And then one day I was literally just like, I'm going to be real. I was in the shower, bro. I'm not even going to hold you. All I did is be coming in the shower. I was just taking a shower, and I was like, dang, I need to figure out a ride to do. Because I was watching this video of a homie online. He's William Gooch. He's like a runner, and he runs across countries. So I was like, that's fire. He's like doing this country runs, and he's setting records. And I was like, okay, I'm definitely not running across a country or riding across a country, at least not now. But I was like, that's kind of wild. I'm not going to do that. And I was like, I need to figure out a distance that I can ride that's like hard enough to ride to where it's just something I've never done, something that would literally put respect on my name as a cyclist, as an athlete in this endurance field. And I was like, I think my brother had just come back from like New York. He was playing a show with Lauryn Hill, and he just came back from like playing something or having rehearsals. And then he came back home, and I was like, okay, I looked at like where he was, and I was like, well, that's like 215 miles. And I was like, I think like we could probably ride to New York. That's a solid time. And this was probably back last July maybe. And I didn't tell nobody for like 5-6 months almost. Like, I just wasn't telling nobody except for my wife. And yeah, that's basically it. Like some of my close homies. And then it became legitimate probably last October, where I was like, all right, we're going to do this. But I still haven't told nobody. And then slowly I started to kind of like mistakenly either tell people, or not even like mistakenly, but I kind of like slipped up and was like, yeah, next year I'm trying to just ride to New York. And people were just like, ride it to New York? For what? Like, what you mean you ride it to New York? I was like, that's far. And I was like, nah, I'm just trying to do an endurance challenge for myself. Like, I just want to do it. And then it spiraled into like this way bigger thing, which I'm super grateful for, because it like, even now, it showed me how when something has real power and like real just genuineness, how much it'll grow without you even trying. Because I haven't really been like pushing this out crazy. It's just been like, even Jed, like he heard about it just because like I was talking about it at work and somebody just kind of told him about it. And like, even the way that Jed's been telling people about it, it was just natural. It's not like a, hey, we're trying to do this like rollout, let's hit up all these people. It's definitely becoming more formal now where we're trying to do our due diligence. But just the start of it was really just an idea of like, I want to challenge myself. It wasn't for the hype. It wasn't for like we're trying to get this recognition. It wasn't even like a world record. I didn't even think of that as an idea. It was literally just, I want to do something where I can be like, hey, I did this and I challenged myself for it. And that's kind of like how this started as a whole.
Wow. You know what? To be honest, I actually saw it through Jed's page. Jed had posted. I was like, whoa. I said, I didn't even hear about this. I didn't even know about this. Jed's another one. He's very involved with the community. Follow a lot of good community. Tend to find people, get information, want to be able to support. So when I saw it from Jed, the first thing I did, reached out to him and said, hey, you know,
yeah,
podcast, because the whole thing about my podcast is, yeah, I talk national stuff, but my first and foremost focus is on the city. How to get them out there. So, yeah, and I think, or I think I saw you're trying to get this done in 10 hours?
Yeah, under 10 hours.
Under 10 hours? Do you know the route that you're taking on the bike? Are you taking like Route 1 or 1A, or what way are you going into New York?
So it's a really specific, there's some categories here I can even just tell you, because we're still trying to, it's been changing a lot recently just because we're trying to figure out the fastest way. So I'll kind of give you a breakdown before I even like go into specific routes, because people has been asking a lot like, hey, are you taking any specific like historical highways or historical routes? All of it is mainly going to be through the city, like through cities. So I know we're going to like Worcester for sure, obviously Connecticut, we're going to pass by Yale. So there's a lot of, we're trying to stay closer to inner cities as we can, just to stay away from traffic. There's certain laws that require, we just can't be on the side of the roads riding the bikes, obviously. But what we're doing, and kind of explain as a whole, the whole mission of what's happening. So essentially we're starting Saturday night at midnight. The reason why we're starting at midnight, it's just easier because less traffic, don't have to worry about any people. And honestly, I'm just a night owl. I do better going from night to day than daytime into the nighttime, because my body just naturally circadian rhythm, it just starts to slow down. So I'm better starting off at midnight and going on. And what we're doing is essentially, I have a crew. My homie Josh, he's driving. He's like the ultimate driver. My brother Jeff Andy, he's gonna be doing all my nutrition. He's my brother, so he's not gonna let me die. So he's doing all my nutrition. We got Jenny, she's doing all the photography and like videography, because we're making a documentary out of this as well. And then we have Ronald. Ronald's gonna be like my bike mechanic. So he's just making sure anytime if there's like a flat by any chance, we're not gonna be replacing like the inner tube, we're just replacing the whole tire. But what's gonna happen essentially is from midnight when we ride, we're planning about 8 to 9 stops. Each stop is gonna be about maybe 10 minutes max long. And what those stops are gonna do is a fueling stop. I don't know if you ever heard like ultra running, or even think of like marathons when they kind of have like those tables set up with some water. Ultra marathons is like a better example, because those stops they're not like running stops. So what it is I'm gonna stop there. If I need to stop and like maybe swap out my jacket if it was raining, or like put on a new pair of pants if it's too cold, I'm gonna have like clip-in shoes. So if we need to replace one of the cleats, things like that are really quick. And then biggest thing is gonna be the nutrition. So we're taking, it's gonna be anywhere from like 500 milligrams of salt every single hour. There's a certain level of like food as far as like calories I need to be taking every hour. And those are the things that we're kind of like shifting every week as training is going on, just because they do change. So the fitter my body gets, or either like the less fit I'm getting by like the small degree, those things have to change just to make sure that mechanically my body is going to be at the highest level during this whole thing. Because the hardest thing is not necessarily the biking part, it's actually the nutrition, just to make sure that all this output my body's going to be giving as an energy, I have enough nutrients inside of me to like input it back into myself as I'm going on. So yeah, there's a lot of like small dynamics that are into play only because this is like a time thing that we're doing. So we're going to have like a computer bike mount, which is a Wahoo. Thankful to them helping out this whole situation. We're going to have my Apple Watch and possibly a Garmin on my other hand, just to make sure that all the times are tracked collectively. And what all those devices are, they're just different computers to like track. It's like an Apple Watch on steroids. That's literally what it is. They're just tracking it to the. Yeah, you can go ahead. My fault. I'm talking a lot. I bet.
No. You're talking about something I wanted to get in. So will people be able to watch your ride? Would we be able to track that ride if we want?
Yeah, so we're going to be able to track it through Strava. And I can actually just read my Strava account right now, just so if people want to follow that, because we're going to be going live on there. So my Strava account is just, so if you just look up my name, Sebastien StHubert, you'll find my Strava account.
Okay.
And there's no space between the Saint and the Hubert, right?
There's no space. There's no space. There's no period.
Okay. All right.
And then you'll see, I'm just going to show it within this. You'll just see like this picture right here. Okay. It's going to be an orange background. That'll be me. But through that Strava account, it'll be a live feed of like, you're not going to visually see me. I'm trying to figure out different ways to get like an IRL, basically in real life streaming going on, whether it's going to be like through Instagram or that's the harder part. The harder part is like the video streaming, because we're going to be filming a documentary and kind of like getting all those video captures. We're trying to figure out, we might go live as far as video streaming for certain moments within, because it's 10 hours. So for certain increments of that, we'll go video streaming. But as far as like tracking me and watching essentially me move on the grid, you'll see the whole thing from start to finish, exactly where I am at all times. So that's going to be there. And cool thing about Strava,
I
was going to say the cool thing about Strava, what are they saying?
Say, Rats, good luck on E399. That's good. So I'll drop that in the chat. So you've prepared for this. Got this event coming up that Bat Bus is put. I think you did that.
Right. So the Old Colony Planning Council, which is what's called the Metropolitan Planning Organization for Plymouth County, and they do things in particular around transportation, about roads, bikes, walking. They're supporting Bike Month. May is Bike Month. And so in supporting that, they're doing a few events. And one of those is an event at the Bat Center on May 15th from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., in which they try to encourage people to bike, to the Bat and take the bus with your bike or lock your bike there. So we, Brockton Bikes, are putting some pressure on Bat to move the bike rack to a better location, because right now where it is, it's useless. No one's going to lock their bike there. And then we also said, hey, you should get Sebastien involved with this event. So we had a meeting with OCPC, and what we eventually worked out is that he's going to bring his bike down, because there's no like one time during the event to make a speech, right? So instead, he's going to bring his bike and some of his gear and demonstrate that, and people have questions and explain. So it basically, so meet the cyclist, meet the future record holder. And again, May 15th, 6 to 9 a.m.
Now, Sebastien, what do you got on your playlist? What are you loading into that playlist for this 10-hour ride, man?
A lot of people's been asking that. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. That's a key word. But it's a hard task, man, because 10 hours is it's just a long time. Like the longest flight I've ever taken was like, I think it was like 8.5 hours. And on that flight, I'm pretty sure I like fell asleep I woke up and like fell asleep again. And I just woke up, I'm still in the air. So I'm like, it's hard for me to fathom how long I'm going to be riding this bike for. But it's also one of those things where, and I'm going to answer the question too. I'm not like dodging the question, but I was like, it's just really cool because it's when I started running first. I remember when I ran, and this is like all last year, I like kind of really started running. And then I ran a 5K, felt great. I was like, oh, word, Usain Bolt? I'm like, there, bro. We're locked in. And then did a 5K. And then I did a 10K. And I was like, whew, this 10K was pretty long. I'm like 8 miles OD. And then I did a half marathon. But I remember before the half marathon, I was like, how am I going to do a half marathon? I only had ran a 10K. And I was like, a half marathon is literally twice. So I just kept on picturing when I finished the 10K, somebody saying like, oh yeah, my fault. You have to go back and just do it again. And that's what it is in my head. But when I ran the 15 or when I ran the half marathon, I was just like, yo, this was like, you just get in a zone to where even if you're listening to music at a certain point, the music is not even there anymore. You just start running and you just start flowing. Right. And after a while, it's like, obviously it's not hours in. I think I finished mine in right under an hour, which is like amazing for myself at least. But it's like I finished it and it was like, oh, this is really dope. So fast forward. This playlist I have sectors. So I'm not really focused on artists, whether I do have a lot of artists though. So I'm gonna name a few just because I know people want to know like artist wise. So I mean, and I'm really looking at my phone right now because I'm building this daily. So I have everybody from like, obviously we have some like Thames on there. We have this artist Julia Wolf. We have Frank Ocean on there, Moon River. I'll say Thames, Hold On. We got this song I've been listening to. My dad loves like Jamaican music. So, and this is like a Jamaican inspiration artist, but his name is High Water and the song is On Our Way. I'm like, that song has been fire. So I got that on there. I got Chloe George on there. I got Jeremiah. I got Coco Jones. And people would say like, how come you don't have like EDM or like certain, cause I really like R&B too, but they're just like, how come you don't have like EDM or heavy pump and stuff? And it's like, I don't need to hype myself up because I'm going to die. Like I'm going to get tired, bro. And it's like, I'm laughing, but it's just the truth. When you're listening to music, your body, you will start to pedal faster. So oftentimes I actually like listening to either like, sometimes even classical music, bro. I will put on a 4-hour classical song and just like cruise because I'm trying to literally keep my heartbeat low, trying to keep my mind just like focused on what's happening. And really the music is just background noise. I just can't do silence. And that's something I was talking about in another situation, talking about this, where I was like, I'm interested to see how this bike ride is going to be. Because on an internal level, I'm just like, what is it going to be like for 10 hours when I'm riding? And yeah, I'm going to be interacting, you know, with my crew probably 9 times out of 10 hours. So let's say that's up 10 minutes each time. So it's like 10 minutes every hour. I'm going to see a human and talk to them. But it's like, how is it going to be for those hopefully under 10 hours of just riding a bike within these crazy backcountry roads in Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, like all these different places. I'm just like, how is it going to be riding all the way to New York? And I'm excited for like just the whole journey it's going to take me on, whether it's music playing, whether I pause the music for an hour because I get some ear fatigue and I just ride and it's just the wind and the crickets of the night. But it's like, that's something I'm going to release too, because people's really been wondering what I'm going to play. So I'm going to release my whole playlist of just like what's on it. And I don't know, somebody else might need a 10-hour playlist.
We got some people in the chat. Doug Macedo, he said, hello, what's up? Alicia says, gotta listen to Linkin Park. See, if I was doing this 10-hour ride, I'd have to start out, even Massachusetts, nice, smooth, just some R&B. Just that flow.
Yeah, there's something chill.
Then I think once I got into that Rhode Island, maybe Connecticut area, I think I'm going to switch from R&B. And then I might go, like you said, go into some classical. I might put on the Star Wars soundtrack with John Barry and the Philharmonic, for the Fates and stuff like that. That type of stuff. That type of music. And then, like I said, for me, me that last hour, that last 2 hours, I got to put the angry. I'm sorry, I got to put the angry music.
Yeah, and I think
you, Jed.
Well,
what about you, Jed?
And it's funny because I think it's the answer to this is what's appropriate for that situation. So right, he's trying to go 200 some odd miles, not rush it, spread it out. Whereas like I've literally been playing techno and drum and bass, and I found that I really do bike faster. And the reason for that is my girlfriend and I were going to do a ride in New York City called the Five Borough this coming Sunday, which is between 35 and 40 miles. Now, my understanding, Sebastian's biking that every day and training for his ride. But for me, I'm not at that level. So I'm trying to do sort of the same thing the marathoners do, where they don't do, the full 26, but they do some proportion of that. Like they'll do 20, 15 of that. So I'm basically trying to do these 20-mile rides in Brockton. So I go all the way into Avon, go then all the way down to West Bridgewater and back. And it definitely has helped me a lot, that stuff. I also want to say, and you might be familiar with this, Keith, but like about Sebastien mentioned Strava. And so like for route planning, Strava or Ride with GPS and their other apps are really like just amazing. So they already know like the surfaces, pavement, gravel, where they know what's good for biking. They could show you where other cyclists have gone. And also particularly important in his case, they show that because he had told me before, they're trying to reduce the amount of elevations in that. Right. It'll show you elevations on the route too. So
nice. That's a good one to check out. But I think this is great stuff, and this is positive. I like having positive stories in the city of Brockton because Fox 25 and Channel 7, and they don't come here when we have positive. Somebody gets killed or whatever. They're the first ones, like they're on speed dial for tragedy in Brockton. I want to make stuff out here and get it talked about. Very important show people you have going bad stuff. At Brockton Beer with the karaoke. I've seen karaoke. I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait to this watch over.
Yeah.
This event.
I appreciate that.
Going to be taking place. That great. Margaret is a lot of people in the chat, man. Margaret says, "Good luck on your journey."
I appreciate it.
A lot of that. Thank you for. And this Brockton Bikes thing, man. I gotta let you just remind people again what you got going on, Jed. That you got going on. I love it. I love it.
So Brockton Bikes again is just a group of people who bike together, and it's about building community. And we center it around a monthly ride that's usually on the first Friday of the month at 6 p.m. Now we alter that a little bit because July 4th is a Friday, so we're not going to ride that day. And as the sun starts to go down in October, November, we will still ride, but we'll ride earlier because not enough of our members have lights. But so we have what we call pop-up rides in between, where you literally just look at the weather forecast and say, hey, do folks want to do a ride? We also work with Mass Bike, which is a statewide bike organization, on all sorts of things, road safety. And I do need to plug, there is the statewide e-bike voucher program has been rolled out. There are 3,000 vouchers for serious discounts on e-bikes. It's based on income. So let's, basically for low-income working class folks. They already have 4,000 applications, but it is not too late because each month, basically, they do a new round of 500 people that are chosen randomly and spread out across the state. So we want to make sure that we get people in Brockton, in particular, Black and brown people. I'll just be blunt, Haitians, Cape Verdeans, applying for these things, so they don't just go to what we might call the usual bike suspects. So stay tuned for that. We'll be publicizing that.
I'll tell you, as someone who takes the train and every now and then on that community. I tell you, the e-bike community has blown up for construction workers, guys who work construction in Boston. The e-bike has become the choice of vehicle because you're not paying the $50 a day or $100 a week to park, work a construction job. A lot of these construction guys now got the e-bikes or there's the other one I like is that one-wheeled motorized thing.
Yeah, the one-wheel skateboard.
Oh
yeah.
Man, I love seeing those. Those are real nice, but those are growing in popularity.
Yeah.
But it's really become this thing that construction workers have embraced, and they're on the train. They've got their e-bikes. They've got whatever. Going to Boston, they work at construction. Awesome to embrace. Biking doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. It's like biking is getting more popular. Monkey Wrench Wellness is in the chat. She just said popping in. Hello to you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Show tomorrow at 6.
And I've seen the one-wheeled guy here in Brockton downtown. So that person, if they're watching or someone know who's that, we want to talk to you. We want to have you join with us and showcase what you're doing and all that.
Those are fast. I looked them up online. They're kind of expensive, but some of those one-wheeled ones, they get up to almost 20 miles an hour.
Like Speed Racer.
Yeah, it's crazy. Hey Sebastien, do you have any sponsors or any supporters that you got to shout out? I want you to mention.
We don't have any official sponsors that's happening right now, but we do have people that's been helping out. So like Wahoo's definitely helped out with the computer. Canyon, huge help with the bike. So we don't have any official sponsors, but we just happen to have companies that's supporting and just showing love. And I definitely want to think.
What if somebody does want to sponsor the cards though? Able to?
Honestly, yeah, 100%. I mean, we're still open to. There's still a lot that has to be done. Well, there's a lot that has to be done. Just in general, all up until like the day before the event. So if you can sponsor in any way, like if it's monetary wise, if it's just even plugging. I'm taking all types of sponsors right now. We're not necessarily saying no to anything, but it's like if you just want to, give some money and say, hey, if you need to help buy gear, buy some nutrition stuff, if it's like an official sponsor where you're like, hey, we want to, because we are getting a car with everybody that helped out, all their decals or like the logos and stuff that's going to be on the car. Yeah, I'm like trying to think of the best way to reach out. Honestly,
I would like to get maybe, I'd like to donate half a cent section of the show. I'd like to supply that water for the you're gonna have like electrolyte water, right?
Yeah, so we're having liquid IVs. So we're using liquid IV, but we need water. I say that like what kind
of water would you like? What kind of water would you like though? Because if I'm gonna get a case or something, what would you?
Oh man, I'm a Poland Springs, bro. I don't need a Saratoga water like the online, like the morning ritual guy needs.
And state the date. I don't think you stated the date, or maybe you did, and I forgot.
No, he didn't. No.
The date of the ride.
So the date of the ride is May 25th, which is a Sunday. I've been saying Saturday because we're starting at midnight. I know certain people get confused, but the date of the ride is going to be May 25th, starting at midnight. And the goal or what's happening is we're riding from Boston Commons to New York Times Square under 10 hours. So we're going to start May 25th midnight, and we're going to be there before 10 a.m.
Wait a minute. Where'd you say you were finishing?
Times Square.
You got to go across the bridge on your bike.
Oh yeah. We're not like touching New York. We're in New York. This is not like a.
That's giving me fear right now.
You thought we were gonna hit the border and it's like, welcome to. Nah, we're doing Boston Common. We're going into New York.
Oh, you gotta go across that bridge on that bike, boy.
And just to even go back for like 1 second, when you were talking about, obviously May is Mental Health Month as well, and there's just a lot of awareness around like health as a whole. And I think I wanted to state this before we kind of like either wrap this up or whatever happens moving forward in the conversation. I wanted to let people know that this bike ride is a lot more than just like obviously cycling. It's really about like your health. And that's why I started all this stuff as far as like athleticism, anything. I was just trying to get healthy. And I think endurance, what it showed me, the most important thing in my life has been just how to endure not only athletically, but mentally going through the world. Because people often tell me, like, oh man, what you're doing is great, like this athleticism stuff. And I'm like, bro, you're an athlete too. You're living life. Like the type of life that people have to live now just to survive within America, within the society, the cultures, you got to be an athlete of a human just to keep your mind straight. Because there's a lot of stuff that's going on. And I'm just fortunate that I've been able to tie the two together. So I've been able to tie like the downs of being on that bike also to just like being at work when, you know, there might be a problem going on or going through family or just a crisis within your own life. And I think it's really important for me to try to show that to people where it's like, yeah, this endurance stuff is cool, but I really want to show people that this just taught me how much your body can go through when you properly fuel it, when you properly train it, taking care of your mind, taking care of the work that you got to do, just so that like when those hard times come, you know it's coming, like you know how to handle it. Because that 10-hour ride, of course, I'm going to have ups. It's going to be vibes. We're going to be good. But there's also going to be times where like I'm probably going to want to quit. I'm telling my team now where it's just like, yo, bro, don't let me quit. Like whatever I say, unless I pass out, do not let me quit. Because I don't know where I'm going to be at 7 hours in. I'm this brick. I'm cold. I'm just on this crazy hill. I'm like close, but I'm not close. It's like, I don't know how I'm going to be 150 miles in when I got 100 more miles to go. So it's like, it's going to be a life thing. It's going to be a journey. And it's going to be a huge task. And as much as like I joke around a bit, it's chill, everything's vibes. I also like mentally every night I'm sitting down and I'm just like preparing myself not only to be physically strong, but to be mentally strong. Because I know that's going to be a huge portion of what this ride's going to bring. The mental strength is going to be what's really getting tested.
Right.
Can I add one thing to that?
Yep, go ahead.
Oh, so what Sebastien says about the mental health benefits is so true. And one of my part-time jobs is I work for a running club called the Boston Bulldogs Running Club. And we just had 30 marathoners, by the way, a little plug. But it's a group for people in recovery for alcohol, opioids, or their survivors, their families, supporters, and it's not a clinical group though. It's based around the simple idea of running, right? So we have weekly runs. People come together and do a run. People are like, well, I don't know how to. We're like, the motto is just show up. And so again, that's about community, but it's also about getting the endorphins going. Right, so we've been very successful. We've about 500 members who really get a lot out of running. And they're recovering. Yep.
That she says, Jed, keep up the great work. As soon as I recover, I'll take a ride with the ride for being. I'm actually going to probably donate some water. Max is something. If you tell me, I will touch base.
Yeah. And if anybody wants to reach out to me, if anybody wants to reach out to sponsor in any way, you can definitely reach me via my email. You can put it in the show notes too, but it's just my first name, Sebastien, LIVE @gmail.com. So you can email me there. You can even reach out to me on Instagram. I'm like actively always on there, just hitting up homies or just kind of, anybody want to show love, want to sponsor, want to talk to me about anything, questions about it. That's just Sebastien_StHubert. And you'll add all that in the show notes So any information you guys want to know, want to help out with, I'm open to it for sure.
What's that date again for a bat? Get bat? That might be the
Thursday,
day I'll bring my stuff down.
Thursday, May 15th. So Thursday, May 15th, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. is the entire event. I'm not sure when Sebastian's coming, but that's the entire event starts at 6 a.m. goes till 9.
Okay, so that'll be the day I think I'll just bring my stuff.
Yep.
Hey,
and I'll be there for the whole event as well.
Oh, okay.
I'll be there for the whole. I'm planning on being there.
Donate.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be bringing my bike. I'm bringing my full kit of what I'm gonna be wearing, all my like energy stuff. Because I know a lot of people, honestly, this never seen this stuff before. They see this stuff on YouTube sometimes. They're like, I just want it. I want to show kids. I also want to show adults because sometimes adults are just curious as well. They're just like, yo, I always see these athletes and I wonder how it's like how does it work? So I want to bring, and there's a real aspect to it too, especially for adults because this stuff costs bread. Like as much as we don't talk about this stuff, all these things cost money. Like it costs money to, I mean, this car I gotta get, it was like a 7-seater. We had to rent it out for like 5 days to make sure everything's prepped. We good. Obviously getting the bike, I was gifted one, so that's great. But I looked at the price of the bike and I was like, if I had to buy this bike, that would have been wild. I was like, so it's like a lot of this, but the kit costs money, the helmet, there's so many different things that cost money to accomplish these greater tasks. And that's something when I was looking at all these documentaries, I'm grateful that I really like to look behind the scenes. So I was mentally prepared for a lot of that stuff as well. Because a lot of people see the end product, but as far as all of you know in this whole chat, everybody probably knows the end product is not always what it costs to do. So it's like it's just it's a pretty penny to run all these things and do it. But I mean, I'm glad that the outcome is bigger than just like the money and like how much we spend. The outcome goes so farther than that. So I'm grateful for it. But I'll be there for the whole event. So if anybody want to slide through, talk to me.
I'm definitely coming through. Being very supportive. You guys want to hang around some topics with me? Chop it up.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm chilling for a few. We can hang.
Yeah, we got about 10 minutes left. So let's get into the news booth. And in the booth, look, I don't want to hear anybody say they're getting sick of hearing this story because I'm keeping the story up until this kid is caught. So every week when I start this show and get into the news booth, the lead story always is going to be turn him in. Turn him in. Davinci Leonard, responsible for killing 2 people outside the urban air. Turn him in. There is no reason why this kid is still out there. I'm hearing more from the streets than I'm hearing from the police being able to get this kid. I'm hearing he shaved his hair off. I'm hearing he might be with some girl, staying with some chick. And as I mentioned on this show for the last 2 weeks, if you are a young woman and you're hiding this kid out, guess what? When the police find out and they come bashing your door in, guess what? You are going to be harboring a fugitive and you're going to catch a murder charge. So please, right thing, turn this kid in. Because I'll tell you right now, you got to turn him in because the streets are looking for him. And the streets are not going to be nice to this. Anybody want to add on that? Because I think it's just everybody to turn this.
Well, I don't know how to say this delicately. So I have the voter list. I'm not going to state the street because I don't want to like abuse my access to the voter list. But you're going to highlight in a minute the fast food place on the east side. If you were in that part of Brockton, you'd be looking in the right part of Brockton. If he were to be dumb enough to go home.
Good to know. That's good to know. That's good to know. Let me get into the next story in the news booth. Tragedy strikes in Hyde Park. Young boy was struck by a bus yesterday. He passed away. But now I'm hearing some unconfirmed reports. The bus did not strike this. That there may have been somebody who asked the bus and hit. So we got to get clarification on that. I'm hoping to update this. All know what's going on. They're also the Iron Workers Union. They have applications taken for Apprentice for training April 14th to April 30th. So if you want to become part of the Iron Workers Local 37, they are taking applications for Apprentice training from April 14th on the Iron Workers Local 37 website. Fill that out. Also here in Brockton, Salo Bar and Grill released a statement to everybody. Electrical fire that happened over again. They will be closed until aid. And this is the Ed was talking about. It's about to be Taco Tuesday in Ward 5 for Brockton. Boom Tacos and Tequila which is going to be an authentic taco place, is going to be opening up on the east side where Nagoya used to be. And then where the old BOA was, Bank of America, story is, and they had a meeting, and it's going to be Taco Bell. The funny thing about this is that Taco Bell was already on the east side where Yaz Chicken was. But it was a Taco Bell Long John Silver, which was stupid. Fast food Brockton is stupid when you have McNenemies and all these other natural fish places in the Northeast. Horrible. That's because Solo Taco Bell has a what you call as a clause, a radius clause. You can't have a Solo Taco Bell within the one on the west side. So that's why you have on Montello, it's a limited Taco Bell menu with KFC, and it was a limited menu with Long John Silver's here years ago. It looks like POA, this new location might be outside the radius, and if so, that's why we're going to have a full Taco Bell there on the sides. Good 5 getting. I'm kind of happy about that. Taco Tuesday is a big deal.
I looked up the ownership group because you can go through the city's website, look up zoning board of appeal and planning cases, because I was curious what was going on at that site. So you look at the ownership group. Off the top of my head, I think they own about 40 or 60. So they're pretty serious franchisees. And as I recall, I think they're folks of color too. But I'd have to look that up to be sure. But so yeah, I think they know what they're doing. They seem very experienced in this case.
Awesome. Love it. We love it. I see a lot of people. I post RDC like, well, what do we need? Well, strategically, we do need a Taco Bell. Why? Because right now, if you order Taco Bell West Side, that's door dashing. This is going to bring more door dashing business and help those out who are dashers. This is all positive for the doctors. So there's always these negative Nellies or negative Nancys talk about businesses, things coming to. It's a plaza. It's a mall. That's where Taco Bells and things of this. I saw somebody talking about Starbucks. We've already got 2 brand new Starbucks, one on the west side and one on the west. I don't think we're gonna get Starbucks on the east side, but I prefer. I'm good for that. You know what? A nice, authentic taco restaurant. Since my buddy had burrito wraps back, I like an authentic. Open one that don't Saine one. Open Cinco de Mayo. I don't know about you guys. Are you big on tacos, Sebastien?
Yeah, bro. I'm not going Taco Bell. That's wild. I haven't had Taco Bell in a long time. But authentic tacos, yeah, I can't even hold you, bro. So I was thinking of the ride. I was like, what am I going to eat after this ride is the biggest question I have in my head lately. People ask me about playlists. I'm surprised they haven't asked, like, what are you going to eat when you're done with this? But I love tacos. Tacos. What's your favorite type of taco is a real good question.
Right now, Taco Bell has this grilled taco that right now. It's a grilled taco. So they take the taco, they put chicken, it's flavored. And then they take the outside of the taco and they grill it crisp. And I had 2 of them tacos. I was like, this was crazy.
After this ride, I might have to try some of that, man.
Felicia says we need more Indian food, vegan places. We have a couple of vegan places in Brockton, kind of low. I don't think we have an Indian food place yet, but we don't have very much here in Brockton. We have a big Haitian community. Got a lot of big Haitian restaurants, Cape Verde, Portuguese. Don't have many here in Brockton yet, so we don't have type of things that you see down in Plymouth. But Indian food, I was told, get Indian food. Woo! Get ready. Keisha is not a fan of Taco Bell. I'm not gonna put what she said.
I feel you.
I'm not a fan of Taco Bell.
But you're right. You're right about the other place, not the Taco Bell, because I was just in Boston for the mayor. I was in Cleveland Circle, and you've got all over Boston, especially Brighton, Brookline. You've got all these taqueria places, which most people go in there and get burritos, let's be honest. But like they're all very popular and it's all the same model, right? You know, they assemble it for you on the spot. You tell them what to put in. It appears to be fresh ingredients. So I think that would be a good draw here to bring people into Brockton.
Yeah. I actually went with my dad in Worcester. I finally tried a Vietnamese. It was a little expensive, but it was worth it. I'll tell everybody, if you go to a hot pot, get ready to take a little bit of a hit in the pocket, but it's worth it. Hot
pot is great.
Is crazy. That big hot pot in front of you, give you all the steak and the meat, all that
the
stuff.
Broth.
Ooh, crazy.
I was about to say, if you ever got like a little cold, go to a hot pot, get you some of that broth, bruh. I promise you, you're gonna be good. I promise you.
All right, let's get into the entertainment booth. I got a couple of trailers for you guys real quick that I subscribe to. Here's the trailer right now for Predator. I'm getting 2 Predator movies this year. Predators Badlands is going to be in the movie theaters, and then there's a Predator anime coming out, which is going to be crazy. So here's the trailer right now for Predator Badlands coming out. I think it's November. Here we go.
I didn't think you survived. You're hunting something that can't be killed.
All right, we're back here in the booth, and our other guest, our first guest, Sebastien. Please make sure to support him and follow him. Jed is going to hang out with me. That was the teaser trailer for Predator Badlands. First trailer, and I've got another trailer coming up. I have 2 Predator movies. Then you have the brand new FX Hulu Alien Earth show, and what this is all about is that aliens finally, and it looks pretty. Here's the trailer, Alien Earth.
I didn't think you survived. You're hunting something that can't be killed.
That was Predator's Badland. And here's the last trailer we got. Here's the funny thing, people. Usually summer movies or action, popcorn. But there's been this thing recently where horror movies have been getting pretty popular as summer films. People like a good horror movie. summertime. So instead of waiting until I believe Megan had come out in this. There's been a lot of horror movies hit good at the box office. You have Sinners, another horror movie doing real well, breaking records. But here's a trailer for from Warner Brothers, Weapons. And why am I showing this? They're doing something that hasn't been done in a long time. Is guerrilla motion. They actually created this whole fake website for the name of this town that takes place. All these kids almost goes back to, I don't know if you guys remember Blair Witch Project, where Blair Witch Project had all this guerrilla type of promotion with the symbols all over around the city. Kind of like, nobody kind of knew what was going on, and then ended up being this type of guerrilla promotion, Blair Witch, big huge trailer for Weapons. But I just want y'all to know, if you check this out, go to the website town. So here's the trailer, Weapons, and it looks.
This is a true story that happened in my town. So this one Wednesday is like a normal day for the whole school. But today was different. Every other class had all their kids. But Mrs. Gandy's room was totally empty. And you know why? Because the night before, at 2:17 in the morning, every kid woke up, got out of bed, walked downstairs, and into the dark. And they never came back.
I don't understand at all. Why just her classroom? Why only hers?
Where are our children?
We have a lot of emotional parents here. I think it's best if you keep some distance from this place.
Matthew, where are you? Where did you go?
This is where the story really starts.
All right, that was the trailer Weapons, and a lot of people in the chat. Felicia just asked, when does the new Captain America come out? It already came out. Captain America already came out with the Red Hulk. That came out 2 months ago, back in February, on February 14th. That was the release. I already went to see it. Check it out. It's really good. This weekend, the Thunderbolts. What I like about the Thunderbolts is every actor in this film, I think it's getting kind of mixed reviews right now, but I don't know about you, Jed, but I don't listen to reviews anymore as much as we back in there, because it seems like a lot of the reviewers now, they all have these agendas. I feel like a lot of reviewers now, they have agendas. Some of these people are hired to put out bad reviews, tank a movie. I actually stopped watching and listening to. I just tell people, I just go. I'm going to base a movie off of, because there's been some movies crap out of because they had their own narratives. I've gone to see that movie. I don't know about you. Go for yourself now. Don't or listen to these.
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, I'm old enough to remember the Pink Panther movies, and I remember those were generally panned. And that was one of me and, when I was a kid, 8, 10 years old, my dad and I was one of our favorite things to do. His wife, at that, my stepmother was still his wife, but my stepmother, she couldn't stand it, other people, but we loved him. So, you know,
and it was a successful franchise.
oh yeah,
Forget,
absolutely.
The Pink Panther was a successful big budget. It's right up there with. I know a lot of people didn't like the Bean movie, but that's another successful series that got panned by critics. The Vern movies. Vern was another guy who had these successful franchise of movies. Right now, back then, I think reviewers. I feel like today. I feel like reviewers today all have some type of narrative, or they know that bad press is good press. I think when you see some review really pan a movie, I think they're trying to get the looks and likes and get the people at them and action. That's my belief. I just don't.
I mean, I actually saw the Captain America movie. I had a good time. But my expectations weren't good acting, was just a lot of CGI, which it delivered on. But also I'm not barely know anything about MCU or the other universe, So
right.
So in a way, like I couldn't go there, and the flaws didn't jump out to me because I'm not aware of the storyline and the track.
Right.
Just vaguely aware of it.
Yeah, so what they did was great about it, and I'm not gonna. Oh, hold on, let me. No, I don't have to. We're past the spoiler alert.
Well,
more than. But
okay.
It was a good film. I liked it. It tied into Thunderbolts. What I really liked about the new Captain America, tied together the Hulk movie, and it brought some questions to the MCU in regards to the films, the characters that are back, and I don't want to, but really tied together the Hulk films. Watched She-Hulk, saw where they're really headed, and they're headed toward World War. That's where they're headed. They're about to bring it back in a bit. That was a big part of the conversation. No is coming is coming. I love my MC. I can't wait. That was the last thing. Oh no, there's one last topic in the entertainment booth. Oscar Mike Radio, 9 years old. Big ups to Travis Partington, a veteran. 9 years ago, we met at Massasoit College. So for veteran, up on his 500th episode next year. Great stuff for him. So let's get into the sports booth. The sports booth, my guy MattieC Sports, been doing running, help bring mental health awareness and bringing things to veterans. Maddie Land sponsor. Senors or cashews. MattieC. Congrats to MattieC under the Sinister One Productions landing a sponsor. I love my cat. Then hey, I don't know if you're watching, Jed, Celtics Game 5 tonight. Garden 8:30. Celtics lead series 3-1. Come back home. Night's the night. They can wrap it up. Game 5. And send the Magic packing. The biggest complaint during this series has been the physicality from Magic. You can play physical ball, but I think it's the cheap shot. I think it's cheap shot. I'm not sure if you were up on your basketball, but your thoughts on the physicality of the series.
No, I like to joke that the only reason I'm holding on to my $90 YouTube TV subscription is because this whole Celtics thing will probably go on for 2 months. But yeah, I watched. That was a great game 4, very enjoyable. I just wanted to say, because you're talking about veterans and also sports, when I was watching the marathon and watching the runners from the group that I'm part of, there was a Cedric King, who is a veteran who lost both from his knee below on both legs, ran the marathon. He was an African American guy. I just happened to see him running on I forget what you call those things, but they look sort of like skis with the
Yes, the spring. Yeah, they're like the spring.
right, the spring.
Yep.
So he comes running by at Cleveland Circle, and then in a moment of like serendipity, people I know from Boston had talked about, someone I knew took a photo of him at the finish line. People had heard him speak. And so I said, hey, if you know how to reach this guy, I'll send him my photos. So someone made the connection. I'm about to send him the photos. And apparently he's a public inspirational speaker, and he's got a book on YouTube, Amazon, the whole thing. Cedric King.
Writing this down. When you guys see me go off to the side there, I'm writing my notes, keeping my notes, because you guys come on the show, they give me good. This past weekend, draft class is set for 2025. Patriots picked up all their guys. Bill Campbell, summing up. Look, they were taking Travis Hunter, but Jacksonville jumped ahead, traded with the Cleveland Browns. They took Travis Hunter. They just took the next guy. That's Will coming in. He's going to protect Drake May on that side.
I love what he said. That was great.
Yes. And you guys saw that at the beginning of the show. Cinematic translation of what he said. So I'm ready to go. I'm fired up. And then here's the other thing, and I got to put my tin hat on. Shedeur Sanders. I saw a lot of people posting. I saw a lot of people talking all the Sanders. Dropping down the round, but here's the thing, people. Saw people trying to make race of this, and I saw that. And here's the thing. I struggle on this show. You guys have seen me talk about. There are times in sports where I feel like sometimes sports, entertainment, and sometimes I feel like manufactured. And I hear everybody saying he dropped down to the 5th round. He's looking on. That sticks out to me. Shedeur Sanders was about to be drafted by the Cleveland Browns in the 1st round in the 1st place. The fact that he went all the way back around 5th round and still ended up with the Cleveland Browns makes me say I'm going to call bullshit and put on my tin hat, because he doesn't lose any money, people, because college players now get paid now. He's sitting on a boatload of NIL money. So that $40 million that everybody's talking about he lost, he's already made more than that $40 million in NIL money. He's already made it in endorsements, because they're allowed to get endorsements in college. So that $40 million, he didn't lose anything. Here's the thing. You go back to Deflategate and Spygate. I feel like Roger Goodell is a genius. I felt like Deflategate and Spygate was orchestrated, created. Those things happened. They put the NFL at the top part of your sports page news in the offseason. This drama about Shedeur Sanders dropping down to the 5th round and also getting prank called by the kid of one of the coaches down in New Orleans, all of this, you know what it did? It kept the NFL relevant for the entire draft. It was probably going to come out and they're going to say it was the highest rated draft of all season. And I think, I'm putting my tin hat on, I think they're making a mockery of everybody in sports. I think this whole thing was orchestrated. I think Shedeur Sanders dropped on purpose. Nobody took him because they already taken him in the 1st round. I think it was all created. The money was made this week. Saw all the people. I hated this. I don't know about you, Ed, but when they changed the draft from Saturday to Thursday night, I said, I hate this. I can't stand it. But then every year when this draft comes down, packed. The amount of people who were at Green Bay, packed. That's all money. That's all money. And the ratings, the more and higher your ratings are come in, people don't realize this. The higher ratings the NFL gets, that's the more sponsorship money they get. So at the end of the year, they say, hey, here's more cap money for you. We got this much from this season. from the ratings. Look at Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift brought all this money to the NFL last year, and guess what? They had a boatload of ratings money hand out to teams. Yeah, I think this thing was hated. I think we fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. The fact that he ended up at the team passed on him anyway screams fix to me. Sorry, it drives me up. Go ahead, Jed.
No, I looked it up because I'd read something the other day. Yeah, there was 600,000 fans in Green Bay. People don't know Green Bay is is not a big city, which is the second highest NFL draft attendance ever. So 200,000 a day, roughly.
And they created the drama. They created the drama to keep people suspensed for 3 days. That Shedeur Sanders thing kept everybody tuning in, kept everybody at that draft. Everybody wanted to see. They made the money. See?
And both things could be true at once. So that could be true, but I also think it's absolutely true that there's a double standard, based on race, and that, black athletes are much more quick to be seen as, it's just code words for what they used to call uppity, right?
Right.
Arrogant, all this
Yes.
other stuff. My kids aren't like me. So yeah, his dad absolutely is a showman and that kind of thing. But that doesn't mean the kid is necessarily like, one of my kids is shy, another one's outgoing, so I don't know the kid's personality, but.
So what Jed is talking about, and this is where people are going with it, because what Shedeur Sanders just went through is the same thing that Peyton Manning and his brother went through. Brother supposed to go to the Chargers, but after I'm going back to school, blah blah blah. So this is kind of what and everybody applauded the Mannings for. And I get what you're saying there, and yes, that's where the race discussion did come up. And to be honest, Deion said this. When he took over Colorado, said that. He said that when he took Colorado, head of a black man, attitude, arrogance. They don't want it like that. So he did put that out. Like I said, look at the money that was made. I think they're all laughing behind our backs. Goodell is commissioner for a reason, and that's because he knows how to make money. He gets up there every year at the draft, and they boo the shit out of him. Loves it, because he knows. Keep booing, because that's money coming in for me every year when people come in. They want to see you boo. They want you to loves it. Also in the sports booth, the saddest story in the draft, Derrick Harmon plays for the Oregon Ducks. Sad. Gets drafted by the Steelers in the first round. Story about his mom having 5 strokes, life support. About how he took care of his mother during high school, how he flew back and forth to college to take. And when he got in his senior year, mother said, "Hey, focus on me. Focus on you. Done enough for me." And the day after the draft, passed away. After that is just crazy. I'm getting choked up because I battle myself with the power of some type of thing. Man, that is the will. This woman is on life support, struggled, got to see her after. Last thing she focused on herself. Now, guess what? And it is sad and as tragedy as it sounds. Think about this. Say to yourself, she just made it easy. She said, "Look, I'm going. Focus now. Can't be worried about it." That was her way of saying, I would not be surprised if this kid here ends up being Pittsburgh's best defense. That motive. Yeah, we've talked about this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we're on. Let's get into legal booth. In the legal booth. Oh, here's a fun one. ICE. So there's a lot of backtracking going on. Next week is First Tuesday, and First Tuesday I have my legal guys on. We talk politics. My defense attorney and my immigration attorney, my JAG officer, they'll both be on the show. I got to touch base on a couple of fun right now. ICE, Tom Homan, talked all this smack, is reversing the termination of legal status. International, those who didn't know, wrote this executive order, and they started snatching up international students across the country, violation, talking about deport. As you all know, Chad, if you remember, the woman in Somerville, the student in Somerville, snatched off the street by ICE, the cowards, snatched her up, placed her in handcuffs, and flew down to this where a lot of politicians down there. This lawsuits of snatched up has now gotten to the point where ICE is like, we can't keep up with the wild. We got to reverse this whole executive order. So for those who are keeping track, and we're going to get into this next week, there's a lot of executive orders that President Trump is now being backed off. As you saw, the hypocrisy all of a sudden now, because farms and stuff and hotels are losing workers, Trump has now said, well, anybody who's here who works on a farm or works in a hotel or works construction, we're going to let them register. Hey, dumbass, we're already here. You're not creating something effing new. Those people were here and you were sending them away without due process. Don't try to cover it up and make it. That's the hypocrisy of this whole thing. And I see these MAGA people like, oh, that's a great idea. No, it's not. We already had that idea. You guys bashed Harris. And don't get me started. I'm saying. Anything you want to add about the hypocrisy, though, real quick?
I mean, my mom lives in southern Indiana. It's a very red state. I think it's like 70%, 75% Trump. And in almost every single small town there is a really great Mexican restaurant. So it's fascinating to me. And you look at the crowd in there and they're not Mexicans. And so they love the food, and that's true. We know they have a lot of stuff, right? They may love our food or love your culture. That doesn't mean they love you. I get all that, but still, it just seemed like quite a little. Like, what are they going to do if those folks get deported?
I saw a story we talked about. The story that makes the pennies, and that whole entire town was Trump support. Trump gets in office. Hey, we're going to get rid of the penny. And the whole town was like, whoa, wait. The town's livelihood is off pennies. They're the only place in this country that makes the penny. And they were saying that this town is going to die without pennies. So, hey, we're going to talk about some. Let's get into the Trump Troubles segment. Trump White House Press Secretary, Caroline Leavitt. So I talked about this on the show. She's in trouble now. Why is she in trouble? Because anybody who knows anybody who works for the federal government, you get vetted. Up in any type of debt, mortgage, or house about to be. Guess what happens? You government, because their theory is that if you have a lot of debt, compromise by whomever or whatever. So here's the issue here. Caroline Leavitt got this job as the White House press secretary. That's what she failed to let people know, that she was $300,000 in debt. Why? Because she ran for Congress, maxed out $300,000 in donation. She didn't make it. She didn't get elected. And she has 2,000 illicit donations that she never reported and she never gave back, donated. So the FEC, who Jed knows well and can talk about, the FEC said to her last week, hey, you never reported this. And guess what? Realistically, you should have never got that job because you've got this debt. So now Thursday, he had to rush down to the FEC and file paperwork that she has this $200,000 that she never paid back. It's a big deal. This is the same stuff that talk about this. You're aware of elections.
Well, I mean, in the bigger picture, right, there's that whole theory that Trump's debts, so a lot of that his foreign dealings, shall we call them, aren't really about any kind of principle, even like on even America First principle. They're more about people who bailed him out and who he might actually owe money to, including Russian bankers, Russian mobsters, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Travis, proud of what's going on, Travis. And I've said this before. A lot of these people amassed a lot of debt, and they're up their debt because tariffs went into effect. It is crazy stuff. But then in the last topic in the Trump troubles, here it is, people. Picture of President Trump sitting in front of a statue of Jesus, talking after the talking about Trump had a revelation after the Pope services. Trump had talked about Russia signing the fire agreement. And he was thumping his chest and talking about, guess what happened? Gave him the big FU, shot missiles. And when that happened, there was a lot of dignitaries, there were a lot of political around the world, and Trump was at this just bomb. He was getting destroyed behind the scenes, behind his back. There were videos of people walking up and weren't shaking his hand. They were going right to Melania and passing him by. So he felt the heat. He knew what he was talking about, but the fact that Putin shot missiles in Ukraine on Easter Sunday and gave an FU. Trump's words to Zelensky, maybe Putin.
Who would have thunk? Well, and he also got lucky because we know that they're often very ignorant of just basic things in the world or doing their research right. It's funny, I should say do your research, but my sister-in-law is Greek, right? So you have the Greek Orthodox Church, and Russia is also predominantly the Orthodox Church. Most years, Orthodox Easter is not the same weekend as when we celebrate Easter weekend. This year, it did happen to line up, so Trump got lucky there. But any other year, he would have been telling something to Putin that might not have quite made sense because it wouldn't have been their Easter weekend. It wouldn't have been Ukraine's Easter weekend either.
But now he's got this epiphany, got this revelation that not that good of a guy. Well, that's what happens when you bring in yes men like Hegseth and not real military people who tell you. So it's a tough reality. Let's see where this goes. Like I said, he met with Zelensky, talked. Knows if it went in one ear out the other. Who knows what happens? Got to get it 8:28. So my outro. These are the hats. Beanies that are out, but I ton of people helped out with the show. Great stuff. These are the shows I produce: Drafting the Oscar Mike Radio, MattieC Sports, and Hero Salute, Fubar Studios, and then Turnbuckles Podcast Wrestling at 9:30, and then You Are the Star Karaoke every first Friday with me, my artist Viana Marie. Come on down. Come down after you ride the bikes with Jed. $50 to the $5 to run up. Brockton Beer is open during the week now. Kids eat Monday through Wednesday. Main Street, Brockton Business. Make sure. And hey guys, Emerge Career. CDL truck drivers, if you went to jail and your cases are all cleared and you're all done, reach out to Emerge Career, helping convicts have all their cases cleaned up and done, get their CDLs. A great program. Great. Jed, you want to say that? Because you need something like that. Getting a convict getting a CDL after.
I mean, I used to run workforce development programs for 16 to 24-year-olds, and it was geared towards young people with records and been DYS or in the adult system. And we would spend a lot of money on an individual client, like for an alternative education. You know, we spend like $5,000-$6,000 in some cases. But what was struck me was when we paid for driver's licenses and we paid for CDLs, you know, for the training and the fees, and we paid also for subway passes, because this is up in Boston. That's what really like struck like these young people. Like they really appreciated that stuff. It was wild. Like we'd get more bang for that buck than something much bigger, like, hey, getting your GED or your alternative diploma.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Perfect timing. If you guys are watching the upcoming events go through, Moses Rodriguez, who's running there, having his kickoff on Friday, May 23rd. But I got to let you guys know, I already spoke to Rodriguez, and hey, you guys know, election season. Jed's been on this show. A lot of politicians come on this show, and Moses already agreed he's going to be on the show May 20th. Moses Rodriguez will be on the booth. And right now, I think I'm going to be doing that show live from Brockton Cable Access. If I do that show from Community Access, I'll make it open to the public, so ask Moses Rodriguez whatever questions ask. We're going to broadcast live Brockton Cable Access on May 20th. That marked. Also, in June, Tang is coming with Run the June. Can't wait to see that. Nas is coming to Anglewood, Boston Symphony Orchestra. I think I want to see that. Anything. Run the Home Base. That's taking place at Fenway Park on July 20th. 5K run or a 9K walk. And then DV Awareness. Pro-Am Celebrity Race at the Go-Kart place up in Dodge. That takes place August 7th. And right now you can buy a ticket, buy 5, get 6 free. Broken Change Biker Church at 255 Iron Horse. And here in Brockton on September 15th, Stephen Montero Memorial Golf Tournament. Reach out to Craig Peanut. That's going to take place 7:15 W Field. And then there it is. There's the flyer for Moses Rodriguez running for mayor. Hey, if you're running for any type of seat, it's free of charge. I don't charge anybody. Come down. Whoa! Hold on here. Hold on. Well, keep that up for a second. Jamal Brathwaite, there's his banner. I got to show that. He's running for Ward 6. And if this is an announcement coming up, hold on here. Let me get back here so people can kind of go in here.
So yeah, it's blank because I just picked them up today. But those are signature sheets to run again for council at large. Me.
Oh, so Jed on the show tonight. Counselor at large you're running for. You pulled your papers.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, let's go. Council at large.
Since you were announcing events, the group Boston Bulldogs were having a run for recovery. We do it every year, Sunday, May 18th. It's a 5K in Franklin Park. You can also do a 1.5 mile circuit if you can't do the full 5K. And so it raises money for the group, but there's also a tribute section to honor people who lost their lives to addiction and to alcohol. So Sunday, May 18th, Franklin Park.
If you have a flyer for that flyer.
I will. Okay.
A lot of people that Ignis getting off. Yep, Trump signed the executive order at Columbia, but states don't have to recognize. She's also upset Black history artifacts taken from. Yep, definitely. Felicia says good stuff. I want a lawn sign. Speaking of lawn signs, somebody brought over one, took it. Like, who the hell would steal my sign?
Keith is referring to not my campaign signs, but we did Brockton Bikes did a road safety campaign, basically that the people of Brockton, whether you're in a car or pedestrian, deserve safe streets. So that's what a lot of them blew away in those really bad storms, to be honest. So
we did have a crappy lawn.
All right. Thank you.
Hey, Jed, I'm gonna let you shout out some stuff before we get out of here.
Well, again, this Friday, 6 p.m., Brockton Bikes is doing our downtown bike ride. We start downtown. We ride as fast as the slowest person, as we like to say. We do ride in the street, but we make sure everybody's safe. We generally ride on back streets. We usually go to places that are hidden gems in Brockton. So a lot of times we'll go someplace people are like, oh my God, I never knew this existed in Brockton. And then on Saturday, so that's Friday, we meet at 6 p.m. at Brockton Beer. When we come back from the ride, many of us will hang out at Brockton Beer and eat and enjoy some of their beer and the like, and maybe participate in the karaoke session that Keith is hosting. And then on Saturday, May 3rd, the city of Brockton has Keep Brockton Beautiful Day. They have multiple work sites, and one of those is in DW Field Park. Go to the Oak Street parking lot at 9 a.m. They'll provide the tools. Give back to your park. And then on Thursday, May 15th is Bike with Bat Day. And that's where Sebastien, the earlier guest, will be there, and Brockton Bikes will be supporting. The food's by Lady C&J. So it'll be a nice event. Come down and support biking and public transit.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Great guy to have on. Does
Thank you.
At Friday, Brock, and then again, please, Ashton. Strava was happy as this right, May 20. I'll be actually heading out. Valley, midnight myself. I might even like that night. No, maybe not. But hey, I gotta thank everybody for tuning in the show. Again, Moses Rodriguez will be coming on. Big ups to that. Any politicians out there looking to go and talk about what they want, do. Again, I gotta mention, this is a big voting year for the city of Brockton. Years ago, I did an event at Lounge. That Vote 48. Vote 48. 48 hours up to election November, Sunday. And what it is it's a day, those who finals, remember, that day is a day for you to tell people that undecided, that offense people, that day to come down and tell why they need Dean and Brockton over years. Ward 5, Ollie Spears decided by like 3 or 4 votes.
6, I think. I just looked it up recently. 6.
6, right? And then the last election we had, I also believe Cindy, maybe it was. I think there was
Anna.
Anna
Oliver beat Matt by, I think, 1 vote ultimately. There was a recount. Maybe it was 3, but it was real close.
And here's the funny thing. Anna and Matt both came down that Sunday for Vote 48, and both of those people voted. And I said, this is why we do this, because watch this event live on YouTube, broadcast live. That's how you can sway votes in direction, and you say the best thing. There's no questions asked. It's telling us by the end. I'm doing it again this year, and I'm Lounge as the place. Why? Because right on the inside, change the stigma. Sammy is a great guy. He does a lot for this. Did this that have been ever. I feel like, Chad, I feel like the Brockton kind of sleep. Don't know any support or giving thanks to Brockton. I feel like something that Brockton or long-term Brockton business. Top of my street. I live on the east side. Top of my street, JJ's Bait Shop. JJ's Bait Shop has been in Brockton since I moved in 78 to the person who owns JJ Bait Shop, their son, Joe Lozon, who waits in the U. There's no reason why we don't. show some type of recognition. We should be able to go into these establishments and see a plaque from the Brockton saying, hey, you've been a long. Maybe we should come up there 10, maybe do a 10, a 20, 30, something. How can we put something?
I mean, in some places, the planning department might do that, or if there's an economic development department, that kind of thing. Including also more basic stuff like having lists of all the vacant retail space. So when someone comes here and wants to open up shop, or having list of all the light industrial warehouse space. So when someone says, "Oh, I need," that we can help steer them to that, so they don't go to another community, because any business that opens up here reduces the tax load on the residents, because they're going to pay the commercial tax rate, or their landlord will. So I think that's, I mean, I can't promise, but I'm inching towards, people may have noticed on a lot of my stuff, my signs, it says Elevate Brockton. And I actually own that domain, and I have a site I could set up. And basically to sort of, maybe one place to sort of corral positive things that are happening. And don't get me wrong, like I love the Brockton Neighborhood Improvement Group on Facebook, for example. And there's the East Side group, but a lot of those posts are more sort of temporary. They're not like, it's not like a reference site. Whereas I would like to see, so what inspired this is we have South Coast Rail, right? I walk into Brockton Pier, I meet this architect who's riding the commuter rail and getting off at the different cities and exploring. And he's asking me, what are the historic things? What do I need to see? And I say, well, wait a minute, we should have a site that lists, these are the historic, national historic sites in Brockton. These are the Edison sites. These are like just but you can easily see that branching off and like having a showcase of a business, a long-term business, right? I mean, so, another approach, of course, would be some kind of coupon or promotion program that encourages people to use local business. That's out of my.
They used to Brockton years ago when I was growing up. Brockton used to have a thing with Brockton business.
Yeah.
Something that they used to have coupons. I remember my dad would take us to dinner to like a Matt Garrett's. Matt Garrett's was on emotional. Help promote business. Hey,
well, yeah,
good stuff. Thank you for coming. Oh man,
thank you.
I'll be seeing you on Friday. Thank you, everybody. That's Sebastien. So I've got Turnbuckles and Spilt Liquor coming up at 9:30. Right now, SpongeBob. Favor, take us.
Well, see you next Tuesday.
Thank you for listening to The Booth on Hoobazoo and HatcherRadio.com. Please follow the Facebook page and subscribe to the podcast at Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. The Booth is a Sinister One production hosted by Sinister One.
I've got to start hanging out with friends that are a little more intelligent and understand politics and stuff. It's just that I'm up on this level up here, and all my friends are down here. Me, nah. You guys, nah. Maybe a little more down in here. Screw you guys, I'm going home.
I smoke, I drink, I do my thing. These bitches hating, so I got to make it plain. Don't do cocaine with your chick, my main. We stick together, true forever, yeah, we bang. I miss those days, which was easy. If only I make it, bitch, don't repeat. Now that I done upgraded, I've been upstate, but y'all think I'm playing. And I got a hit now for these weak assholes who think I ain't slaying. Try me, and I'll probably end up laughing, cause I never back down. I'm that chick with a clean ass whip, I don't need that shit, I got my own now. I get hurt, I get tired of fussing, fighting, guess I gotta crack down. Don't mess with me, cause on everything, I'ma have to bring the whole city out.
WHOOBAZOO, that's Hoobazoo.com.
Enter website.